Hello, this is Father Michael Nasser coming to you from St. Nicholas Orthodox Church here in Grand Rapids, Michigan for this week's Midweek Reflection. And this week, I'm reflecting on what a difference a week can make. A week ago, I was reflecting on the topic of winning because so much winning had been happening here in Michigan with the University of Michigan and the Detroit Lions and their Cinderella run. Then halftime, then the second half of the game. They were up by 17 points at the half, and just a heartbreaking second half. Led to a loss, and now their season is over. They're not going to Super Bowl. And I could only imagine what some of those players are feeling like. I know the coach said, I don't feel bad about going for it on fourth down twice. And maybe he's right, but those players that the dropped catches and the fumbles, and imagine the guilt. Just deep, horrifying guilt. Well, we don't have to imagine it because I think guilt is something that affects all of us. We all realize, boy, did we blow it. And most importantly, in our spiritual life, when we give in to our temptations and we give in to sin, and then that just wave of guilt comes over to us. So I want to talk about guilt today because I think it's an important thing. You know, guilt actually has a very limited positive role. That sort of punched in the gut feeling when we feel really guilty. If it moves us to repentance, it moves us to saying, boy, I blew it and I want to do better and I can do better and I'm going to work really hard to do better and I apologize. And then we get past it, guilt actually can propel us out of a downward spiral back onto the right path. That's a good thing. I know guilt gets a bad rap today. It actually has, again, a very limited but very helpful function to get us back on path. But here's the problem. A lot of us feel guilty and then we double down on the guilt and we try to hide from the guilt and we try to silence the guilt and we try to deaden the guilt and it's all just there and it's growing and we just feel more guilty and we get more depressed. It doesn't help. Guilt is helpful for one and one reason only. It humbles us and gets us back on the right path. Once it's done that, however, it really loses all of its positive, helpful, functional qualities, and used in the wrong way, can really take us on the wrong path. So I want us to think about the fact that guilt, it's good in a certain way, and then we got to get past it and use it what it was good for to get us on the right path. We're not careful. We carry around guilt for hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades. It doesn't do us any good. Even if we don't think it's there in the back of our minds. We've had several new converts to the church the last couple of weeks. So I've heard a couple of life confessions. And it's amazing how many decades sometimes we hold on to guilt for when we don't have to, because we believe in a loving, forgiving God. Yes, he sends his Spirit into us to sort of give us that little twinge of, hey, you're not on the right path. That's a gift. Our conscience, even our guilty conscience, is a gift to wake us up and go, boy, I blew it. Think of the prodigal son. We heard that gospel in about a month from now. The prodigal son who sat and was wanting to eat what the pigs felt. Maybe he felt guilty. Maybe he just realized, boy, I really blew it and look where it's gotten me. But that sense of I've gone on the wrong path can propel us onto the right path. So I hope we'll see guilt for its limited but very positive use and then let it go and continue the trajectory it pushes us on, which is a trajectory of repentance, change, hope in God, appreciation for his mercy, inspired by his love and mercy, and then we go out and give it to other people, not to bang on them and make their guilt worse, but really to say, I was in that spot, God gave me mercy out of it, I'm thankful to him for that, and I can give that mercy to other people. So use your guilt for what it's really good for, and then let it go and move on to receiving God's love and mercy, and then sharing it with people around us. Guilt, it's got some good things, got some not so great things if we keep on it. Use it for the good, let it go, find your way back to the direction God is launching us on. Hope you find that helpful. If so, please share it with anybody you like, and God willing, we'll see you in next week's video.